Hello, everybody. Welcome to Canada's Boring. Rhys here forgot to hit record. We were chatting for like a good 5-10 minutes, and he's like, "Oh shit, I totally forgot to record." Hold on,
don't expose them to the craft, Jesse. Anyway, this is
the craft. Yeah, that's what this show is, an example of a really good podcasting craft. That's for sure.
Jesse's croaky voice and my bad sound quality will all be explained in the STD Zone. So this episode is called "Failed Theme Parks and Hostage Negotiations," and it's going to be one of the craziest stories we've ever told.
I really wish you'd kind of like call me up first and be like, "Hey man, how you feeling?" Because I got a really good one. Just save the really good ones for when I'm
match my energy, Jesse.
Yeah.
Feel my vibes. Play the music.
What makes Canada boring?
Have you ever seen the flag? It's a leaf.
£1 million to go to Canada.
Canada is boring. I was actually shocked. I mean, from all the countries they could choose from.
Do you like maple syrup?
No, I don't.
These Canadians ain't got a care in the world.
Get my country's name out of your fucking mouth.
I was like, oh, he's in Canada. All right. Okay, you communist.
The country needs you. I'm Canadian.
But don't feel bad for Canada. Believe me, this is their strategy.
I'll tell you another thing. The beer sucks.
Don't run off to Canada. It's so boring there.
Hello and welcome to Canada's Boring. My name is Rhys Waters, and with me is the Croaky. Yeah, there's a story behind that gravelly voice. Jesse,
it's not really. It's honestly, it's not. There's no story. Like, it's not even like worthy.
Great, Jesse. Trying to get people to listen to the end for the STD Zone. And you're like, oh, it's fine. It's not really a story.
I just went out and had a good time with a friend. That's it.
Oh, good. All right.
Yeah.
Probably could have stayed that. Anyway, do you want to get straight into this juicy story?
You said you have a juicy story for the end, don't you? Did you say you did the last time we did this? The previous time we were recording, did you say you had an STD Zone bit for us?
I do. My life has been total shit for the last few days, and I will go into the full details of my horrible experience. So anyway, but I want to talk to you about a little place called Rattlesnake Island.
Rattlesnake Island?
Rattlesnake Island. Yeah, it's a small island.
Looking this up
in the Okanagan Lake, directly east of Peachland. And obviously that lake is famous for the sea serpent Ogopogo.
Wait a second. I'm looking at Rattlesnake Island right now. It is like genuinely tiny. It is.
Yeah.
It's not even. It's picture. The best way to describe how small this island is like picture how big a pond is compared to a lake. And this is how big this island is compared to other islands. It's not like pond size, but it's like
it's a small.
It's tiny. You could run around it in. I'd say you could like go from one end. If you just took a stroll from one end to the other, you could do it in 30 seconds.
Oh, there we go. Yeah. So that island, as I mentioned, is famous of being the home of Ogopogo, which is the
home of someone lived on this thing.
No, the lake has got a sea monster, a legendary sea monster like Loch Ness. So
I was for whatever reason thinking that Ogopogo was the name of a person.
No,
a band.
But in the 1970s, this island belonged to a man called Eddie Haymour, and he wanted to turn the island into the Okanagan's most exciting tourist attraction. So he designed a theme park that would have a mini golf course, replica pyramids, restaurants, and a giant camel.
All on the island.
All on this island, yeah.
You're shitting me. What? This is. Hold on. What? I can't. This is. You're joking. Tell me again what he wanted to build on this ridiculously small island.
A mini golf course.
A mini golf course.
Yeah. Restaurants and a giant camel.
Where would you fit it?
Where would you fit it?
Where would you fit all these things?
Just on this tiny island. He had a vision. He had a plan, Jesse. Believe in his vision. Anyway, the size of it doesn't really matter. But
I mean, it kind of does.
But Eddie had a dream. Eddie was an immigrant from Lebanon, and he'd moved to Canada from Lebanon.
I'm looking at photos of Rattlesnake Island, and they built stuff. Like, I'm looking at remnants of like foundations of stuff. I don't know what it is I'm looking at.
Well, this is so he he moved to the Okanagan from Edmonton with his family, looking for a fresh start. It went, from there. He had successful businesses in Alberta, but he really wanted to chase this dream of building a theme park. So
around the Okanagan monster or whatever
yeah,
it's called.
But also that Rattlesnake Island is a beautiful part of Canada, like the whole area. There's a beach there as well. But what this ambition led to is one of the weirdest, kind of darkest stories in British Columbian history.
Darkest? God, you love these fucking stories.
Is about kind of like, it's about ambition, obsession, and government power being wielded in the wrong way as well. And a man who's kind of like, whose life was turned upside down following his own dreams.
That's okay. Fuck, I love your stories, man. I do, but I sometimes they're really depressing.
No one's gonna get like. It's fine. Don't worry.
No one's gonna get what? Skinned alive?
Disemboweled.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's okay. That's fine, I guess. No one's getting disemboweled.
So, because of his roots in Lebanon, he wanted like a Middle Eastern themed theme park. So he wanted
a middle. So hold on. I got to stop you right there already. So this is a lake in the middle of nowhere. It looks like surrounded by wilderness. Like I don't really. I mean, maybe there's a city nearby. Let me just kind of zoom out.
Do we just tell you the story rather than news?
Oh no,
I love that your level of research is I will look at it on Google Maps. Meanwhile, I'm regaling this story that goes back to the 1970s about
you and I used to have a little series called Jesse and Rhys look at Google Maps and describe what we see. It was great. We did it all the time on the show. I'm bringing it back, baby. So on the other side of the lake is Peachland.
I told you that at the beginning. You didn't need. I literally said it's near Peachland.
Oh, okay.
You didn't need to go on Google Maps on your own and work that out for yourself. If you just listened, if you zoom out further, you'll see it in BC, which I also already said.
Which is also everything
in Canada. If you keep zooming out, you'll see Lebanon on the right, which is where he was from. So.
All right, tell me the story.
So Eddie spent a ton of money. Construction began. They started pouring concrete foundations. The pyramid replicas kind of started to grow. Pathways, signage, entertainment features were all starting to grow. The early beginnings of a theme park was starting. And in 1972, he actually opened parts of the attractions to the public. So visitors were ferried across the lake, and apparently hundreds of people came. And for a while, it looked promising. It was like, hey, this is kind of a half-finished theme park, but it's different, it's new, it's exciting. Come try it out.
So he was kind of like building word of mouth while he was building it. He was like, come on over, to look what we're building.
It was like a step, like stage
smart,
by stage. Yeah, it's pretty cool. So, but what happened next would basically define the rest of Eddie Haymour's life. So,
oh God, here we go. Before we get really dark again, just tell me. So he wanted to do a mini golf course.
No, like it was a mini. It was like a mini theme park. It was a small. Like you said, the island's tiny, but your sense of scale is a bit off. It's 5 acres, so it was a 5-acre theme park on the island.
There's no way it's 5 acres. This thing.
Don't go and check, Jesse. Don't go.
I'm looking.
Anyway,
maybe I don't know how big an acre is, but like the thing is, like I'm looking at what looks like the remnants of a mini putt golf course, which is it's kind of cool. I think that's what that is. So anyway, continue.
So what happened then was, the provincial authorities decided they didn't. Somebody in the province of British Columbia decided they did not like this theme park. They did not like where it was, and they did not want it to happen. So they started questioning his permits. They started changing the requirements, and getting approvals on his pyramids and his mini golf course was started to be installed or denied. And he believed he had permission to build everything, but suddenly everything was now unacceptable in the eyes of the province.
Did he not own the land?
He owned the land, but it didn't mean he had the right to build a theme park on it.
That doesn't make any sense to me.
Well, because you can't, I can't like go outside on the land my home is on now and just go, do you know what? I'm gonna build an abattoir. I'm gonna start slaughtering animals in a residential area. You need a permit.
Oh, I see. Right, a zoning thing. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, I do it anyway, Jesse, but it's just because I enjoy it. I'll make it
Okay. So this is government over. Government just decided you're not doing this, and we're just going to make sure you don't.
And years later, this is how bad it was, though. Years later, the British Columbia Supreme Court would describe the government's conduct as being discriminatory, deceptive, misleading, unfair, in bad faith, and unconscionable. So basically, the government,
to Canada, folks.
The government was just like, we cannot let this guy build a mini version of the Middle East, but more fun on an island in BC.
But more fun.
Maybe they've got mini golf in the Middle East. I don't know. Furthest I've been east is Turkey, so I don't remember there being.
Well, that's very sad. Is the okay? Keep going.
So what happened was the project began to collapse. His finances started getting drained because he had a half-built theme park that he could no longer.
Was he financing this himself? Did he get a loan from the bank,
or
like
financed by him?
Like his own personal finances?
He was a successful businessman in Alberta before this, and he put all his money into this dream. I did tell you this earlier, but you were looking at Google Maps.
I am hungover, Rhys. Okay. The fact that I'm following along at all is something of a miracle. Okay.
You were zooming in and out on Google Maps. So anyway, so he started fighting them in court. He had legal battles with them. His behavior became increasingly desperate because he was getting. There's some kind of incident where the police were called and they arrested him because he was getting so desperate and irate.
What was he arrested for?
I think he was causing a bit of a scene because he was so fed up with everything that was going on. He was charged, and they found him unfit to stand trial because he was so distraught of what was happening to him.
I feel like there's details you're either leaving out or haven't found here because that just doesn't.
No, I don't know.
That is very vague.
No, I basically he ended up he was having a breakdown essentially, and he ended up
sad.
He ended up in a psychiatric in Riverview Hospital for psychiatric confinement.
Oh my God! Oh, that fucking hell! Okay, that's not going to help
because it kind of broke him. The fact that he was
like, how many years was he, or maybe how long? I don't know if it was years, but how long was he fighting?
Oh, this was years of his life. He'd started this was kind of the beginning of the 70s, and then as we get to the middle of the 70s, this happened, and that's the sad thing. His kind of life unraveled. So his marriage ended. His wife then left British Columbia with their children.
Oh my God!
His house burned down and was then subsequently foreclosed. And then Rattlesnake Island's ownership was then transferred to the Crown, which was later ruled to be illegally transferred. So the government seized his island.
Why? Can they? What?
Because they didn't. They're not supposed to do that. They were found to have not supposed to have done any of this, but they did it at the time. They found a legal framework to do it.
Jesus Christ.
So by the mid-70s, Eddie no longer had an island, a business, or a family, essentially. And nobody wanted to listen to his story. So
this is just a really sad fucking story, Rhys. Christ almighty.
and then it kind of goes crazy. So Eddie was better. He was out of the psychiatric hospital, and he was pissed off at the Canadian government because he'd come to Canada, he built businesses, he'd lived the dream, and then the government had ended everything really unfairly.
Right.
So
what did he do? Sorry? Say it again? He did what? Are you about to tell me?
He'd lived the Canadian dream.
Oh, okay, that's what he did. All right.
And then things were about to get crazy. So in 1976, he traveled back to Lebanon. He recruited 5 cousins. He got hold of some AK-47s.
Fuck off. What?
And together...
What?
Together, they stormed the Canadian embassy in Lebanon.
Oh my God.
And
And
took 20 Canadians hostage in Beirut.
Don't run off to Canada. It's so boring there.
Patreon.com/Canada is boring. Canada's coolest club. Premium fun, privileged access to secret content, a chat app with the hosts, hours of fun for everyone, the promise of eternal life.
Patreon.com/Canada is boring.
Oh, okay. Hold on. I have questions. Jesus Christ. So let's just back up. Okay. I need a recap before we get to where we're going here. So he, successful businessman from British Columbia, has a wife, has a house, has children, has had successful businesses, buys an island or gets an island somehow. It's cute, tiny little island that apparently is big enough to put, a mini putt course in a restaurant on. He's like, I'm going to build a Middle Eastern themed theme park on this cute little island in the middle of nowhere. The government's like, the fuck you will, fuck you, and does everything in their power, illegally apparently, to prevent him. He snaps. He loses it. He kind of, his house burns down. His wife leaves him and takes the children. He ends up in a psychiatric ward. This is after years of the government just being like, nope, fuck you. We're the government. We'll do whatever the fuck we want. We don't like you. He loses his mind. He goes to Lebanon. He gets some friends with AK-47s and he storms the fucking Canadian embassy. Is that what you said?
Yeah. Holds 20 Canadians hostage.
Holds 20 Canadians hostage. Now, my next question after saying all of that is, were his demands to be allowed to make a fun theme park on an island?
No, I'll tell you what his demands were.
I'll let all these people go if you can let me build a fucking mini putt course. Like, just
his demands were: give me my land back, give me some money, bring me my kids, and tell the world I'm not insane. As you hold an AK-47 against the head of the ambassador.
Right. Okay.
So tell the world I'm not crazy.
Give me my land back. Okay.
But he was pissed off at the Canadian. He was pissed off at the Canadian government. His life had ended because of decisions made by the government on a provincial level.
Well, hold on. So I mean, I could argue, again, not knowing the details of what happened. I would argue that his life did not end because of that. Do you know what I mean? That was how do I put this? Like, that's just a business that failed. He was fighting it for years. He could have said like, okay, you know what? Fuck it. I'm not going to win this fight. I'm going to go start a restaurant somewhere. I'm going to go do another business, because he was a successful businessman elsewhere. He can do that. He was just so obsessed with this fucking island.
Right? but also he was unfairly targeted by the government because they just decided they were going to shut him down at any cost. So
even if he said like, okay, I'm not going to build an island theme park. I'm going to go build this restaurant. I'm going to go build this, this.
I don't know.
Building. They would just be like, nope, fuck you. No matter what he did is kind of his thought.
They didn't like his idea. They didn't like where he was and where he wanted to do it. And they decided to shut it down. And like he was so far in it financially that he put everything into it. So,
right. Okay.
So
I guess my what I was trying to say is like it's possible that some of his life falling apart had to do with obsession, right?
No,
right? And like absolutely, the government is at fault, 100% at fault for that not going through and for being unfairly targeted. But like I'm saying, like, could he not have just stopped and gone and done something else?
I know, but it takes obsession to build a Middle Eastern themed theme park in British Columbia. But I think that's amazing. I love those places.
I love that idea. I love the idea which it had happened.
It's like those roadside attractions where it's like, look, there's a giant dog made out of elastic bands. It took someone, 10,000 hours to do it or whatever. And I love those things. So
you know what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying, though.
But ultimately, like
the government was being a massive dick.
Yeah.
But the government did not directly ruin his life. Do you know what I mean?
No,
they were just
but
being a huge asshole.
they were, but
Yeah.
because he was determined to fight it because he didn't think it was fair. You know, he was standing up for his dream. So
No, and of course, and like I'm not saying he should have. I'm just saying like it's. I don't think there's a direct correlation where like the government like burned his house to the ground and the government put him in a psychiatric. You know what I mean? Like it's.
Yeah.
He was fighting something that the fight itself caused his entire life to fall apart, and there was an obsession behind that fight. Was it a fight worth fighting? I don't fucking know. The government sometimes is real fucking dickheads, and you need to fight the government, right?
Yeah.
But at some point.
So he held the hostages for a number of hours, and in the end, he surrendered them. Eventually, he never.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that. That's
it was
good.
all him and his cousins were just like, all right, well, like
this is. You promised us coffee and donuts, and that hasn't happened yet. So we're
all
just
I wanted
go.
was some pizzas and a helicopter. So he didn't face any charges.
Holy fuck!
And
what?
He was charged only with a misdemeanor and had a $200 fine.
What?
In the end.
What the fuck are you talking about?
I know. I couldn't find much detail on it, but apparently
the government lost their fucking mind, like around this guy. Like, what the fuck?
But also, I think that I don't know how it happened. I think maybe people were sympathetic, but also. This was during the time of the Lebanese civil war, so you know it was the country was destabilized at the time. So
maybe they were like,
it was
nobody died, nobody got hurt. Let's not anger anybody further during this time of civil unrest.
There might have been worse things going on.
And if we push this issue.
Exactly. Yeah,
his friends might be in jail, but his friends might come back or something like that. Like,
I think it wasn't a priority because nobody got hurt and everyone was fine in the end. But this is the thing, though. Eventually, although like holding Canadians hostage in a foreign embassy, at gunpoint, it should get the Canadian government to go, right, we're done with this guy. What happened was. There was still a lot of sympathy for him because a lot of it seemed to be that people were like, well, maybe we pushed him too hard was the general thing. So, and this is a testament to the kindness and understanding of Canadians. So the Office of the Ombudsperson of British Columbia published.
I've heard that name, that title before, and to this day, I don't know what the fuck an ombudsperson
An ombudsperson is basically like they kind of like review. They're an independent, impartial kind of investigator on what's going on. So they will be like, it's their job is to go, this government department is shit. And they couldn't tell us that themselves because their jobs are at risk because they're not going to tell us their shit.
All right. Okay. So they're an impartial. Right.
Yeah.
They get to go in and investigate everything.
So this report was like very sympathetic and damning of the Canadian government. So it didn't excuse the embassy attack, but it did try and give context to what led to like his extreme behavior. Mm-hmm. So they basically documented misconduct, legal obstruction, like directly affecting his personal collapse. And although he was like irrational and violent, it was the end point of like this long chain of events that could have been totally avoided if they were following the rules properly and being reasonable.
So, okay, so what happened when
he returned to Canada, and he was awarded $150,000 for his loss of property.
But he didn't get his property back. Just give him
they gave him $155,000.
Okay.
But he was barred from recovering compensation for compensation for personal suffering. I think because they were like, well, you held people at gunpoint, so I don't think
we're going to call this a wash. Yeah,
yeah, we'll give you the value of the island back. But
don't push it. Yeah,
don't push it. Oh, you're upset? You should see Doris, the secretary from the embassy. She shit herself and had to sit in it for 4 hours.
She what?
She shit herself and had to sit in it for 4 hours. Eddie.
Okay.
So-
all right. So, well, that
The province was urged to pay additional compensation to acknowledge the wrongdoing and offer a formal expression of regret. I don't know what a formal expression of regret.
I don't know what that
maybe
is
it's
either.
a-
I mean, it
maybe it's a
sounds like an
letter.
apology, but it's like
Yeah.
the government can never say they were sorry because the government
Maybe it's
can,
an interpretive dance to show that they so you can read between the lines. I don't know. Is that an
Oh,
expression?
Are you fucking kidding me? Like, if the government fucked up and they had to apologize, but instead of apologizing, they had to do an interpretive dance for me, 1,000% I would take.
in a black leotard.
I would 1,000% take the interpretive dance anytime. Holy fuck, man!
So they got a public apology. His ex-wife got compensation for legal expenses, but
What? For what legal expenses? For like
for
leaving him?
all the issues they went through, basically. Like, so, but that kind of decades had passed, and you know, the island was kind of forgotten, and so apparently, I don't know if you saw this on Google Maps when you were there.
I was looking at a bunch of images. Yeah.
So what he did was, across from Rattlesnake Island on the Peachland shoreline, he completed what he refers to as Castle Haymour, or is often called the Peachland Castle. So as like kind of a fuck you to the government, he was like, I'm going to build an Arab-style castle.
What's it called? Peachland.
It's called Castle Haymour.
Castle.
And you'll see pictures of it.
How do you spell Haymour?
It's sorry, I've got it right here. Haymour. So he decided to build a new home, which was a castle.
Cannot find Castle Haymour.
If you Google it, pictures come up. So, and he was basically built the castle overlooking the island, where his failed Middle Eastern theme park never took root.
Okay,
So-
Castle Haymour. I'm looking at. So this was it like a business, like a restaurant or something? Or?
Yeah, so it was essentially he turned it into he lived there, but also it was a guest property, and it was locally a legend. I don't know if it's still there because there's photos of it looking like semi-abandoned.
It really does look, yeah, kind of.
But it's a cool property. But he was just like, well, if I can't do it on the island there, so he kind of built a monument overlooking the island. So Rattlesnake Island now is a protected nature reserve, and basically the ruins are still there from some of the pyramids.
Wow. That's amazing.
So yeah, and so it's a hell of a story.
Yeah,
but
not as sad of an ending as I thought it was going to be. Honestly,
no, but there's some weird lessons from this. Is ultimately like Canadian bureaucracy can be an absolute destructive beast when wielded improperly. And also, you can hold people hostage and get what you want sometimes. It's not like the movies. You don't always get killed. Or sometimes you do get what you want.
I'm like, it was fine. Go home. Everything's all right.
Exactly, yeah. No,
we'll get you your interpretive dance soon.
Yeah. We'll get Doris a new chair. It'll be fine.
Doris will be part of the interpretive dance. That's
anyway, so did you like that story?
It was amazing.
Almost unbelievable as a story.
The stuff that you find still blows my mind.
I love that story. I feel bad for Eddie. I really do.
Yeah, well, how did his story end? Like, well, he built the castle. You said like it was also a business, like people could stay in it in like a hotel or an Airbnb.
Yeah,
not Airbnb, but like a bed and breakfast sort of thing, while overlooking his failed island.
but also there is a documentary called Eddie's Kingdom that came out in 2020 that is like a full documentary about his life, and Eddie is interviewed in it.
Eddie's Kingdom.
Eddie's Kingdom. So if you want to watch a Canadian documentary about it,
better title than Eddie's Kingdom, having to do with like
Eddie's Kingdom. I quite like failed theme parks and hostage negotiations.
Right, that's a much better title. Yeah, it's it's long, but it's kind of
guess your attention.
It's the point across.
Yeah. Teases. So anyway, let's do STD Zone.
I wouldn't actually know. It wasn't a failed hostage negotiation. It was kind of
it was probably the most successful hostage negotiation I've ever heard about.
Right? Everyone just went home and pretended it didn't happen. It's the best option you can get, honestly.
Die Hard, everyone, all the hostage takers got killed, so it's way better.
Way better.
Right. They wanted
let's do the small talk dimension zone.
You are now entering the STD zone. Incoming STD. Loading small talk. Enhancing anecdotes. Dick jokes processing. You have reached the small talk dimension zone.
Jesse, my life has been an absolute shit show. So
I'm sorry, man. Yeah, I mean, I can see you're kind of wearing like tattered clothing in like a sad little room,
like a cartoon bomb went off. So I don't know, a sad little room in my dining room. Thank you very much.
Is your dining room?
This is where we gather as a family and break bread. So anyway.
What's with the eyeballs behind you? What's with that? What is that? Is that like the eyeball of everyone in your family?
If you're on YouTube or Spotify video, we'll see this. So the brown, these are photos of me, my wife, and our 3 boys.
I knew it. It's your family's eyes. That's cool.
The brown.
Who's the one with the fucking insane blue eye? Like
that's my wife. That's my wife. She's got the same eyes as like a husky, like ice blue. And then our kids are all a mixture of brown and blue. It's quite cool.
That's amazing. Yeah, the blue's not coming through here. It looks like green, but still.
It's kind of it does show through, but her eyes are in crazy shade of blue. They're really cool.
That is a crazy shade of blue. Yeah.
Yeah. They're amazing. They're
sorry your life is falling apart. That sucks.
That's fine. You reminded me of my wife's eyes and cheered me up. Is good. So anyway, I got a cold over the weekend, which was the bad start of it.
I got I had a tiny one that lasted 2 days, and I barely even noticed it. So
then my propane tanks that heat our home and give us hot water were giving us a false reading, and were actually empty. So we had no fuel.
Oh fuck me! You can like get emergency fuel to come in. Like
no, you can usually, except there's a giant storm coming. So
oh no,
Irvin told us that. They were like, the closest we can book you in is 2 weeks' time. I was like,
What?
I was like, there's a storm coming, like a big storm coming. It is the middle of winter. And they were like, the best we can do is 48 hours. So since Sunday night, it is now Wednesday afternoon. They filled up literally just before we started recording. So luckily we had like heaters in the house to stay warm during this like massive winter.
I thought for some reason you had a fireplace.
And then we filled the bath up with water on our stove. Just going up and down the stairs for an hour and a half with pots and pans
to take a bath,
so we could wash.
Oh, okay. Oh my god!
And
this
then,
reminds me of when,
and then when the snowstorm came down, I went to get my snowblower out, and my snowblower immediately died.
Oh,
so it's just been an absolute nightmare.
I don't know if I'd call this an absolute nightmare. I would call this someone living pretty well, seeing what it's like to no longer live pretty well for a couple of days. Like just,
well, I don't think you realize what it's like not having a snowblower, Jesse, when you need one.
I mean, like,
anyway,
I used to live in Chester with my parents during the pandemic. Height of Omicron. And there'd be storms that would take out the power of the whole island, and it wouldn't come back for a few days. And we'd hear the storm coming, so like we'd like fill the bathtub full of water so that we just have water for whatever reason. And like I'd make like 3 days worth of meals, just prepped like for hours and hours and hours, just knowing that like we wouldn't have access to the stove or anything like that. So
yeah.
But like I don't know, having the power go was kind of fun. But you had power, you just had no fucking heat, and that's
no heat. And then I was working from home because Street Fucker doesn't like the snow. The rear-wheel drive sports vehicle. And
for those of you who are unfamiliar, Street Fucker is the name of his Mustang that was named by you guys,
by the audience,
our audience.
So I was working from home, except the basement is so fucking cold. It's like a morgue. If anyone's got any dead bodies that need stored, my basement, keep it fresh. So yeah, that was it. So right but they filled up.
So you had such a shitty weekend and week start to your week that you had to look up a story of someone who had a much worse time to make yourself feel better.
Yeah, exactly. Eddie's life made me better, but I wasn't going to go into a hostage situation at like the propane company to make them come and fill up.
Why not? Go for it. Nothing will happen.
Apparently it works. So anyway, yeah. What about your crazy night last night, Jesse?
Oh, it wasn't crazy. It just sounds crazy because I'm hungover. But like we just went to the bar. It was fun. Yeah, we were going to go to. We were gonna go to Montreal Arcade, which is this arcade bar. I love arcade bars. They're just super fun. You just go in, get drunk, and play like fucking old 90s and 80s not console, but like, stand-up video games, whatever they're called. And they're, it's really fun. And they were closed on Monday, so we're like, okay, let's go tomorrow. Let's go Tuesday. And so we're like, yep, they open at 5 p.m. according to Google. All right, so we had some pre-drinks, and then we went over there, and they were just shut down. We're like, motherfucker. And someone was outside having a smoke. Tomas, I think his name was. And he's like, we've got games in here. Come on over. This is just the next bar. And there was like a television with like an Xbox. I think it was like what they had. We didn't even play. We just went in and like, we did play dice. We played dice games for like drinks, shots or whatever. And like, we just had a good time. It was a really fun time. Nothing to really report.
Last time I was in a bar arcade, I was there with, you remember Kayla, who was a guest, the journalist who was a guest on our show, talking about the fake sword from Oak Island?
Yes.
So we were there, and the original Simpsons arcade game was there. And I had so much change, and I was like, right, we're going to try and complete the Simpsons game. So we kept dying, and we just kept putting money in. It's like what I couldn't afford to do as a kid, as an adult, we could now. So we just, and I think we got pretty close to completing it, but just ran out of time eventually.
Wow, that's amazing. That's really impressive.
It was a great arcade game. The Simpsons.
It's a really fun game.
Yeah. Anyway, so if you've enjoyed this story, then go to patreon.com/Canada is boring. Send us a speakpipe, speakpipe.com/Canadian politics is boring still, Jesse.
I think so. Let me just double check.
Or go to CanadianPoliticsIsBoring.com, and everything's there anyway. You can sign up to our newsletter. You can leave voicemail messages. You can leave reviews. Oh, actually, I've got an email from a listener. I want to read out as well.
Oh, sure. Okay. Hey, so can we say that at the beginning of the episode so that they stick around for the end?
That's fine. We'll do it now. It's fine. So we had an email from
I mean have a little snippet saying that there's an email at the end, and then just put that snippet at the beginning.
Okay.
Stick around, dear listener, for an email from one of our lovely listeners at the end of the show during the STD Zone.
So this is the episode. This is the.
You're not going to put that in at all. It's just going to sound fucking weird in the middle of this.
Weird, yeah.
You're not going to edit it at all.
So natural. So the email subject heading. This is from Bob. It said Jesse's trip to Cuba. Hi Jesse. As always, a great episode about slavery in Canada. I knew it was here, just not the extent. I need to bring up swim bars. I was at a resort with a swim bar. I too had to experience, in my case, waded up to the bar. I was speaking to someone later, and they asked if I noticed the bar flies, those patrons who would sit there for hours drinking beer and never seemed to need the facilities. I couldn't resist passing that tidbit of information on.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I heard that that's a fucking thing.
Just sit there all day, just pissing in the pool.
Yeah, yeah. Thank you, Bob. Thank you for ruining that memory of me having one of the few good times I had was sitting at the pool bar and just enjoying the sun and a few drinks. And now that memory is completely tainted with the fact that I was sitting in other people's piss for quite some time. So thank you, Bob. Thank you very much.
We appreciate that correspondence, Bob.
That was
great.
Important.
Yeah.
It's very important that be relayed to me. Thank you very much.
Yeah. Well, thanks everyone. This has been wonderful. We'll see you next week.
Okay, bye everybody. I'm gonna go throw up now. A place that's exciting with kryptonite. You may fall asleep with no warning because Canada is